Hi! Are you aware that you can lose your vehicle while driving in Lagos if you commit a traffic offense? Yes, but before we get to that, let's do some groundwork explanations. Driving in Lagos could be very frustrating because of the heavy traffic, but it's not surprising because Lagos is a huge metropolis with a lot of people, with a population of more than 22 million people. Even here in Lekki, the traffic situation most of the time is heavy, partly because it is a rich neighborhood, just like in Victoria Island, which is still up front. There are more cars in these rich neighborhoods per capita than other Lagos suburbs. The best way to avoid traffic while driving in Lagos is to know which times the traffic is less in the particular area you're going. Generally, there is more traffic during the morning rush hour because many people are going to work and students are going to school. Another time you have more traffic is in the afternoon when people are going for lunch and the kids are going home from school. And also in the evenings, evening rush hour when everyone is going home from work. Wow, as you can see, there is no traffic here in the toll gate because they haven't started selling tickets. If they were, oh, it's a huge nightmare. Very huge traffic nightmare. The traffic sometimes could tail back a few hundreds of meters in both directions. In these rich neighborhoods of Lekki, Victoria Island, Ikoyi and the rest, there are actually fewer people living here. But inside most of these mansions you see here, there are up to 5 or more cars parked there that gets used on a daily basis. Some of them move in convoys of up to 3 cars or more. Now let's get back to how you can lose your vehicle in Lagos. Driving in Lagos these days is fraught with a lot of risks. There are traffic offenses in Lagos that doesn't have a monetary fine. Yeah, you heard that right. The fine is an outright forfeiture of your vehicle to the Lagos state government. Of course, it only applies in extreme circumstances. You will forfeit your vehicle to the Lagos state government if you are caught driving against the traffic. That's driving along a road that is designated for one-way traffic, as this guy here is driving against the traffic. Yes, many people have criticized this law and urged the government to have a rethink and amend the law and give people fines instead. But the government wouldn't budge, and they are insisting that anyone who doesn't like this law should never ever drive against the traffic. The government also says that driving against the traffic could be fatal if there is a head-on collision, which is correct because a lot of drivers do not expect a vehicle coming back at them on one-way roads, so bumping into another car is quite easy. Also, a lot of people have raised the issue of entrapment, where they were led by the state road traffic wardens through a particular road only for another team to pull them over and arrest them. What it means is that some corrupt guys are taking advantage of people who aren't familiar with the roads. Yes, this has happened to a lot of people. Many people who aren't familiar with the roads do end up humbly asking for directions from traffic wardens. Imagine getting into the hands of your enemy, only for the wardens to dubiously direct them to one-way only roads. That's not good. So don't fall for this trick. Make sure you know where you're going before hitting the road in order to avoid falling victim. There is also the issue of road diversion, or a closed road without an available alternative road that the road user can follow to continue his journey. Take for instance this Toyota bus stop flyover that goes to the Murtala Mohammed Airport. This bridge, as you can see, was closed down by the government for safety reasons because a petrol tanker burst into flames under the bridge, damaging one of the columns. So anyone that is going to the airport but coming from Apapa, Mile 2, Amuwo, Sele and all those areas will be forced to go as far as Anthony Bridge to make a turn. That's an additional 8-kilometer road trip, and not counting the traffic in Oshodi and of course the turn under the Anthony Bridge. When some people consider the distance and traffic, they brave it and drive against the traffic. Not that this is an excuse, but the government needs to find better solutions to these kinds of road diversion or fully designate the nearby roads as a two-way road pending the repair of the bridge. So take care if you are driving in an area where you are not familiar with, because most one-way roads are not clearly marked. Some places where they are marked, they aren't visible enough. Even some traffic lights are tiny and not even visible, not very visible, as you can see here in this junction along Ozumbambadiwe in Victoria Island. There should be an overhead traffic light, just like the others we passed. Their job shouldn't just be about catching people who commit traffic offenses. They should make sure that all traffic signs are well placed and visible to the road users. After all, the main reason the law exists in the first place is to make sure our roads are safe. The law also acts as a deterrent and makes people drive in an orderly manner. It shouldn't be seen as an avenue to make money by the government. As you know, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, and some of these Lagos traffic wardens can be aggressive while doing their jobs. This might be caused by their dealing with so many aggressive drivers on a daily basis, especially the public transport guys, popularly known as danfo drivers. As you can see here, they are jumping the traffic light. So make inquiries about areas where you'll be driving to before embarking on your journey. And what exactly does the government do with the seized vehicles, you might ask? Yes, they auction them. And do not make the mistake of not paying fines when your vehicle is impounded, because you might lose your vehicle. Also, apart from driving against the traffic, there are other traffic offenses that attracts heavy fines. For instance, driving along the bus rapid transit lane, BRT for short. This offense attracts a 70,000 Naira fine. Reversing on the highway or parking on the walkways has a fine of 50,000 Naira. If you're caught smoking or eating on the wheel, that's a 30,000 Naira fine. Let's not talk about your car breaking down on the road. That's a ripe fruit waiting to be plucked. They will not only tow your vehicle to their park, which is good anyway, in case the vehicle is obstructing traffic, but they will also make you pay heavy fines. So avail yourselves with the different traffic offenses so as not to break them. If by any reason you find yourself in this circumstance and your vehicle is impounded, make sure you quickly pay the fine and retrieve your vehicle, because impounded vehicles do not go to their park and come out in one piece. Most times, if the vehicle is drivable, the traffic wardens normally drive the vehicles themselves to the park. Not everyone likes others to drive their cars, especially strangers. Also, consider the fact that there might be many cars in their park. So in order to conserve space, they might park the cars close to each other. There's a high chance that your car or vehicle will come out with a lot of scratches. If you are given a fine for traffic offense, try and pay up immediately and retrieve your vehicle. Some people make the mistake of not paying the fines and expect to buy back their vehicles during the auction with the anticipation that it will be cheaper. They aren't fools, you know. There's a huge risk that you may lose your vehicle. Don't take such huge risk. Yes, you could be risking losing your vehicle. There are many instances where owners of impounded vehicles try to buy back their vehicles during the auction, but they fail because the government sees the auction as a revenue source. And just like in other auctions, it is totally beyond your control. You cannot control the price at which a vehicle will sell during the auction. Under normal circumstances, the auctioneer should close the auction at a reasonable price of maybe 200,000 Naira or maybe at most 500,000 Naira, so as not to make it very obvious that the government is taking advantage of the situation, which means that they are making money out of people's misfortune by selling their vehicles. It's not very good for our society if people's hard-earned money. Of course, there are lawbreakers, but let it not be seen as if the government is just profiting from the whole mess. So drive safely, guys, and thanks for watching. See you next time.